What's cracking, YouTube? I'm Anthony Spritz. This is Spritz 2 Live. I'm back one more game with a whole nother video, and I've been playing hours and hours and hours of Dragons Dogma 2 for free. But no, I didn't get the game sent to me from Capcom or anything like that. The homie actually surprised me, sent me a copy of the game. So this whole video gonna be dedicated to him, the man, the myth, the legend, my man Jose, aka Zay Valentine. That's my bro. So we're gonna jump right into it. And I'm gonna tell y'all, my little sauce, what I think, my experiences, and yeah, we're gonna have fun. Let's get it cracking, man. So what is Dragons Dogma 2? So Dragons Dogma 2 is an action RPG that takes place in a world where your character is like this warrior who gets attacked by this big ass dragon and loses. He gets his ass kicked, and the dragon actually rips out his heart, eats it, and basically challenges him to a duel. So you have to get strong enough to challenge the dragon, get your heart back. And the cool thing about the game is him taking your heart has given you special powers, because now you have a cool scar across your chest, and you get to command these weird type of people called pawns, right? And these people basically live to serve you, and that's where the game kind of gets its appeal, or gets its uniqueness, right? Because these pawns, which you can recruit up to 3, these pawns offer different types of classes, and in Dragons Dogma 2 they have different personalities and they have different skills and stuff, so guides you through the game. But yeah, that's the synopsis of the game. And yes, and to me it kind of sounds like a weird erotic novel, but it's besides the point, man. This game is all about the adventure, all about you and the pawns you decide to recruit, going through the world and just having your own adventures, your own stories. And that's pretty much exactly what happened to me in my time with Dragons Dogma 2. Like I said in the beginning, I've been sinking tons and tons of hours into this game. I am low-key addicted, and that is a good sign. So needless to say, I think the game is great. It does have its issues, and there's a little bit of some stanky janky stuff going on, but it's not too much to ruin the experience. And I think I'm about 35-40ish hours in right now, something like that. Just hit the end game, and I'm trying to finish that up and do New Game Plus. So I've been trying to sink as many hours as I can into the game, and man, I've just been having crazy adventures. I think when you start the game, you make your personal pawn, because you have one that's personal that stays with you, levels up with you, and you go out into the world, and then you can recruit up to 2 other pawns. So it's 4 of y'all in a party. Whatever class, or whatever they're called vocations in the game, which are just classes. Whatever classes you want, each pawn has different skills, personality types, and they'll and knowledge, right? They'll guide you to different stuff in the game. Some of them will know where chests are, some of them will know what you have to do for your mission, some of them will heal you, so stuff like that. So setting off in the game, man, I've done everything from fight ogres and dragons to escort people and get people, like liquor, and cook, camp, stuff like that. This game is just one big adventure. Despite its gripes, I think that mostly it nails it, right? I've actually played the first Dragon's Dogma, have it's over 50 hours, something like that, in the first Dragon's Dogma, Dark Arisen. And yeah, I think that for the most part, man, Dragon's Dogma 2 gets it right. And so, if anyone cares, I've spent hours and hours on my character's custom look, as well as my main pawn, who I made like a cat lady, like a literal cat person, not a lady with cats. The customization in this game is super fun. It's very detailed, and you can really go crazy. And I've seen people make some crazy stuff online. So just like with any good RPG, or a lot of RPGs, let's just say, it's all about the classes. And the cool thing about this game is it lets you choose which class you want to be freely with no penalties. Some of my favorites are the Thief, Magic Archer, Mystic Spearhand, and of course the Fighter. To me, I feel like the Fighter is very underrated. It's one of the classes that you start with in the beginning of the game, because some classes you do have to unlock by talking to people in the world. Now, the Fighter is your basic sword and shield class, but it's the workhorse class. You're not taking as much damage. You could play as the tank. You could climb shit. You could, you know what I mean. You could do a whole lot with it. You could sauce it up. But yeah, I just feel like that class gets overlooked. So shout out to the fighter. But you know, me coming from the first game, you know, I originally gravitated towards the thief. Because in the first game there's actually a class called the Strider, which is basically the thief and the bow and arrow class put together, and that was like pretty much my bread and butter. But I also tried all the other classes in the game, and all these classes are really cool. I think the game really shines when you get to unlock the Wayfarer class, which is basically a class that lets you use the skills from all the classes in the game, so that gets really fun, really cool ass combinations. I still have a lot of sauce to uncover and a lot of the game to get through and stuff, so I'm gonna have fun just messing around trying to find cool combinations and just putting hours in this game. Like I said, there is some janky stank going on with this game, so I'm just gonna point out real quick some of the things that are kind of not so great about the game. There is a little bit of pop-in when you play the game, which is pop-in is basically like you'll see some of the graphics loading in when you're running past. It's not too much, but it's there. Sometimes the game, so this game doesn't hold your hand, but the game does suffer at times from lack of information. So what I mean by this is sometimes you'll be on a mission or something, and I get the whole that it wants you to figure it out by yourself type of thing. However, some of this shit is just excessive. One time I finished this whole big ass mission, and I'm at the end of the mission and I have to go back to the village and talk to this guy. So in the game, the NPCs are the people that you talk to. They have their own routines in the village and they move around. When I got back to the village, it had a big ass yellow blob like, here, go ahead, find him, good luck. It literally took me 45 minutes just to find this NPC because he decided to randomly roam around the village in a place where I couldn't find him. Tried to look it up, people had suggestions on where he might be, couldn't find him. Literally had to sit on a bench and wait for this dude to wander by so I could finish the mission. Things like that happen way too often in this game, and it's a pain in the ass. Another thing that's kind of a downer with this game, it only has one save slot. Yep, one save slot, one. Meaning you can't really revert back to old saves like you like to. Now, if you rest at an inn, it has a separate save slot for resting at an inn, so you have that. But every time it saves, it overwrites, so you only have one save slot, so you can lose hours of progress or have to restart if you mess up, which is not surprisingly that hard in this game. You can fuck up and have to go way back. Happened to me a couple times. Yeah, and obviously there's some weird technical issues from time to time, like with the NPCs and them walking into stuff or walking over stuff, but that on that end it's not that bad. Despite all that, I think the Dragons Dogma 2 is fun. It's a good ass game. I like it. I'm addicted to it. But yeah, definitely has its flaws and things like that. Finishing the story, no spoilers obviously. I think the story is a little thin. I think it has some really great moments, but as far as a story, I think it's a little thin. I mean, the point of the game is to go on an adventure, right? It's all about the adventure and the journey, but I think they could have sauced the story a little bit better. I do like what they did with the ending and the end game and stuff like that. Again, no spoiler gang over here, but yeah, I always feel like I'm rambling when I make these videos. I don't know if I mentioned that, but I appreciate y'all for clicking on this video. If you don't know, we are on the road to 10 subscribers. I'm trying to get 10 subscribers and just keep going up from there. So again, I really appreciate y'all for checking in, and yeah.